Chicago is not so segregated, okay? I am evidence of this, all right? You might not know this about me because we have only just met, but I am actually Irish, Italian, Polish, and Mexican. Ooh, you didn't see that one coming. That was a surprise. Yeah, that's all of Chicago, baby. But none of the parts that you see on the news. I love being what I like to refer to as sleeper Mexican. Nobody can tell that I'm Mexican. The reason why I look like this is because my mother is so white. How white is she? All right, that was pretty good. My mother is so white that when she had her 3 children, myself and my 2 siblings, she gave us all the same initials so she could, quote, get a good deal on monogramming. Of course, no one thought to tell her that you can save the most money on monogramming by not monogramming at all. But I grew up in Connecticut where there are far, far more monograms than there are Mexican people. And so growing up, I only ever heard about Mexico in the context of going there for spring break, you know? Like it would always be girls who I was in like middle school and high school with, and they would say to me, Courtney, if you ever go to Mexico for spring break, because why else would you go? Be careful about drinking the water because of Montezuma's revenge. Y'all know about Montezuma's revenge? Some of you are afraid to admit it. For those of you who are uninitiated, Montezuma's revenge is when they tell you to be careful about drinking the water in Mexico because the bacteria could give you potential digestive issues, to put it politely. But it would always come from these girls who would then proceed to post pictures of themselves on Instagram double fisting frozen margaritas. As if that ice is not also made of water. Which of course begs the question, is it the water that's the problem, or is it the fact that this is the first time you're eating seasoned food in your life, Karen? Because if we're being honest, there's really only one ice us Mexicans need to be concerned about. I never know politically where people land if they laugh too hard at that joke. It really is sort of like a bell curve because either you laugh really hard because you agree that it's really sad that Mexican people have to be so concerned about deportation, or you laugh because, yeah, you deserve it. Ah! I love being Mexican. It's something that I'm really proud of because it's one of the very few things that is unique and interesting about me. Another unique, fun, interesting thing about me is that because I am a woman with brown hair who lives in Chicago, I identify as bisexual. Could you tell by this jumpsuit? I don't think a lot of people believe that about me either, because I have never been on a date with a woman. And you believe that too? And that hurts my feelings a little bit, but that's okay. No, the reason why I've never been on a date with a woman is because I'm a bit confused as to how to go about it. Because if I'm a pretty girl and like you're a pretty girl, who pays? It's a real head scratcher. I don't know. Took a lot of algebra classes in high school. They never figured out that word problem. And some people are like, oh, Courtney, that's not very feminist of you to say that. And I agree, it's probably not very feminist of me. But look, I've gone on lots of dates with lots of men. And if you are going to drug my drink, you might as well pay for it. Is that too much to ask? I don't know. I feel like it's not that hard. Who here has siblings? Okay. You clapped very quietly, like you're not entirely sure. Do you think you're your parents' favorite child? You're not? For sure you're not? Why are you so for sure? The baby's a favorite. That's interesting. See, I am the oldest of 3 siblings, and so I thought for the longest time that I was my parents' favorite child. My first clue should have been the fact that they kept trying after me. In fact, you were 100% right. But like on paper, I have plenty of reasons to think that I am my parents' favorite child, right? Like, so my parents, they live here in downtown Chicago. I live around the corner from them, so I get to see them all the time. My brother, he lives in Atlanta. My sister, she lives outside of Philadelphia, so they have to, they don't get to see their other 2 kids all that often. I have a salaried job with a 401k and health benefits. My brother works in commercial real estate sales. So if he doesn't sell like a Starbucks or an office park or something else that nobody wants, then he doesn't make any money. And so he doesn't make any money. Or like, I don't know, I've never been arrested for underage drinking. And then 2 weeks later, arrested for underage drinking again, right? For all those reasons and more, I thought that I should be my parents' favorite child. And then a couple years ago, I realized that this might not be the case. Y'all know what the love languages are? Like the 5 love languages? Yeah. My dad's love language is gift giving. And so every year for his birthday, he gives us gifts. Nice, right? Like that's pretty nice. He's got this whole thing where he's like, what do you get for the man who has everything? And so I know that how much a person loves you is not directly correlated to how much money they spend on you, unless you're my dad, in which case it definitely is. And I learned that the hard way 2 years ago. Like I said, my brother, he works in commercial real estate sales. And so for my dad's birthday 2 years ago, my dad wrote my brother a check for $1,000, all right? To help him, he was like, you know what, use this money to get your career going because I really believe in you and you're following your passions and I want to support that. And keep in mind, my dad does pay his phone bill and his rent. So this is just a cherry on top, I guess, of the grocery bill that my dad already also pays for. And so that was really nice of my dad. And for that same birthday, my dad gave me a pen. A really nice pen, all right? A Mont Blanc pen. You'll know what that is? It's a bougie-ass pen, all right? It's a $400 pen, which is way too much for a pen to cost, but it does mean that I'm under by $600. But who's counting? I don't know. And some of you are probably sitting there and you were like, oh, Courtney, you know, that pen is also a metaphor, you know? You're going to use that pen to write your jokes and tell your stories, all right? It's a metaphor. You are an English major. Figure it out. I'm like, all right, fair, true. I can see that. But think about it from another perspective, which is that my father, when he is long gone and past, God rest his soul, anticipates that I will use that pen to write $1,000 checks for my good-for-nothing brother. And I don't know what's worse, the fact that I'm 27 years old, and so I don't know how to write a check. Never needed to know how to do it. No child left behind, I guess. So I don't know what's worse, that or the fact that I've already lost that pen. Oops. But that was 2 years ago, okay? So this past year for my dad's birthday, he's like, you know what, Courtney, I've been hearing that joke for over a year, and I'm tired of having my name dragged through the mud. He does really support me, so all of his friends, he'll see these clips on Instagram or Facebook, and they'll send them to him and be like, bad dad. He's like, I'm tired of that, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get you all the same gift for my birthday. And again, I don't want to sound ungrateful. He's getting me gifts for his birthday. Thank you, Daddy. I appreciate it. And someone's gonna take me saying thank you, Daddy, out of context. I'm really sorry about that. But so for his birthday this year, he got us all $500 Southwest Airlines gift cards, which outside of the fact that Midway is a shit-tier airport, is a pretty nice gift until you remember that earlier in the set I mentioned that I'm the only child who lives in Chicago, where my parents also live. And so what that gift means is that my parents are essentially telling my siblings, we always want you to be able to come home. You are always welcome to visit. Money is no object. Please come see us whenever you can in your busy, busy lives. And they told me, we want you to go away. And maybe some of you do too. My name is Courtney Zelazny. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your night, everyone.